What is going on, everybody? It's the Daily Fantasy Hitman back at you with another League of Legends breakdown. Today, we're back with the 4-game slate, 2 games out of the LCK, and 2 games out of the LPL. Let's start off with the LCK. First matchup, DRX, Dragon X, versus KT Rolster. DRX is coming in as a minus 150 favorite, and KT Rolster coming in as a plus 115 dog. When you look at things like side selection, you will see that KT Rolster gets the blue side advantage, which is pretty big in the LCK, given that, let's take a look right here, LCK Spring 2021. The blue rate has a 59.2% win rate across the entire split so far. And that, round that up to 60, and that's basically 3 out of every 5 matches are blue side winners, right? Now that is totally independent on who's playing the game, so that shows that blue side is a pretty massive advantage, okay? But the issue with KT Rolster is I'm not really sure what lineup they're going to be running out there. They brought Gideon into the jungle. So far, it's been kind of so-so. They 2-0 swept Fredit BRION, and then they got 0-2 swept by Afrika Freaks. Now, both of the, Fredit BRION kind of more of a bottom-tier team. Afrika more of a middle-pack team. DRX currently in fourth place in the LCK, with 7-4 record. KT Rolster 5-6. This is a KT Rolster. I believe this record is more showing of their past form versus their recent form. Okay, they got rid of both their junglers. We're not sure if Dove or Yukel is going to be starting in the mid lane, and don't be surprised if Noah gets his first shot here tomorrow. Overall, KT Rolster, this will be a close matchup, so I'm not giving it a 2-0 for either side. But I just believe that KT Rolster with this new lineup is it's going to be a lot more growing pains in the short term. Gideon, remember, this is his first split in the LCK. Now, KT Rolster is 9-6 on the blue side, but I do believe that is, again, shown from their past roster, not necessarily the new one. They've only played 2 games, like I mentioned, 2 series with this KT Rolster lineup, with Gideon in the jungle. So far, he's brought out some interesting picks, like Kane, things like that. But overall, DRX, I don't know. It's like this team has played together the entire split. They've shown us a lot more resilience than we thought they would have. I see them taking this 2-1. DRX isn't necessarily horrible on the red side. Let's take a look. I believe it's 6-9. Yeah, 6-9 on the red side. So I would prefer them more if they were on blue side. But I do think they can steal a game off the red side, and I think that DRX ultimately is going to win this one 2-1 over KT Rolster. But yeah, you could definitely take KT Rolster as a dog. They're only plus 115, so it's not super crazy to think that they win this one with the blue side advantage. But yeah, I just like DRX more as an overall squad. I'm going to give them the 2-1 here. Next matchup in the LCK, Fredit BRION versus T1. Now, in my article, I mentioned that Fredit BRION, actually the more experienced team here, with T1 bringing in this new roster. Zeus, Wunner, Closer, Teddy, Korea. Those are the starting 5, and they have been for the last, 7 matches. They are 5-2 over that span, with the only 2 losses coming to Damwon Kia, which is pretty nutty. But think about the fact that they've played Leaf Sandbox and Nongshim Red Force in back-to-back series before that. Okay, so not the hardest competition. Fredit BRION coming in, it's kind of the same story. But Fredit BRION is on that blue side, okay? Fredit BRION's on that blue side, and that gives them 2 games with potential blue side advantage. Like we mentioned, 3 out of 5 games are winning on the blue side in the LCK, which is pretty high. I don't know. When you look at things in terms of DFS, right? I know that T1 is clearly the better roster here, the more talented roster. But remember, they are very young, okay? And Teddy is the lone veteran on this squad. So, what that creates is they have this really good early game, but they also are prone to mistakes because they're so young and they're so hungry to win. Fredit BRION, on the other hand, I mean, a lot of veterans on this team. The split for them is already kind of screwy. I mean, they're going to need to win out a lot here. I mean, they do still have a shot with, they have what? That's like, yeah, they have like 9 games left, so they still have a shot to make some to make some moves in the LCK. But today is gonna be very, very crucial if they're gonna make a play for playoffs, make a push for playoffs. Overall, I actually do side like, of course, I think T1 wins this one 2-1, but in terms of DFS, Fredit BRION is just so cheap, and they allow you to do so much with your lineup, like things like Gala Captain, stuff like that. I really think Fredit BRION is worth a shot here. They've shown us some good resiliency versus some other teams. Let's take a look. They took a game off Gen G. They swept Live Sandbox as well. Beat KT Roaster, took a game off DRX. Things like this, they did get swept here by T1 really, really badly, and people might be pointing at that as, you know, what's going to happen again. But you got to remember, Chieftain was in the mid lane here instead of Lava. Lava was out because of a personal issue. And remember, this is the only team to even beat Demwon Kia this split. I mean, I know it seems so long ago, but still, that shows an insane amount of mechanical skill or individual skill, and I think they could pull that together and potentially take a game or even the series off T1 here, who people are just going to kind of autopilot T1, but this new roster, it's bound to have some growing pains, okay? I mean, 5-2 is pretty insane for this new roster. It does have a lot of talent with Warner and Zeus and things like that, but you never know. You never know. They're not the best. T1 isn't the best drafting on this red side, so let's take a look at that. No, I just want T1. T1 on the red side is 7-8 versus 10-6 on blue side. Go to Fredit BRION. You'll notice that they actually prefer that blue side too, even though it's 5-8 versus 3-9. But just, you know, those two advantages, T1 having the younger roster. I mean, you're going to look at stats and you're going to see Fredit BRION is lacking in pretty much every statistical category. But I think it's worth a shot, especially in DFS. I'm taking a lot of time on this matchup, but yeah, I'm gonna actually go with Fredit BRION with the 2-1 over T1. I think they could pull it off. Now let's go to the LPL. We could run through these games a little bit quicker because they're a little bit easier for me. RNG, come on, give me a break, guys. Royal never give up. They're called that for a reason, okay? Royal, they never give up. 11-2 on the blue side. Come on, they got side selection over LNG. LNG what? What's LNG got on that red side? Are they showing us anything? Oop, nope. 3-7 on the red side. RNG's gonna 2-0 this one. I mean, you heard it here first. No, I'm just kidding. That's a pretty easy pick. RNG 2-0. I didn't even mention the odds. Minus 385. I think that should be way higher. But that does just show you that LNG is one of the better teams here in the LPL. 9th place currently, 5-4, coming off a stomp over V5. I'm not going to say they're one of the better teams, but they are a playoff contender at this current moment. Now, OMG versus TES, Top Esports, minus 1,400 favorites. Here's the kicker. Top Esports doesn't have side selection here. OMG actually does, so you could prefer that, or you could see that OMG would pick into blue side first. Top Esports is actually better on the red side. 6-3 on red side versus 5-3 on blue side. OMG, on the other hand, yeah, kind of rough. 2-7 on blue side. Not giving them much hope here. Yeah, I think Top Esports 2-0s there, and I think RNG 2-0s here. So over in the LCK, I think it's more 3-game series, more close, potentially close series. LPL, it just seems like a bunch of stomps. So, I mean, if you're rocking DFS, I'd look to teams like RNG and TES to be getting the majority of your lineups built. I would avoid this DRX KT Roaster one just because it seems like it's going to be low scoring. And then have some fun with Fredit BRION or T1, you know? Take some chances, take some shots, And oh yeah, let's go back over the LCK odds. Minus 600 for T1. That's a bit lower than I expected. This one's really close. So overall, my picks are 2-1 DRX over KT, 2-1 Fredit BRION over T1, 2-0 RNG over LNG, and 2-0 Top Esports over OMG. If you could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're trying to grow this thing to the moon. If you want my full DFS picks and my my full matchup breakdowns, you can find that here, patreon.com/DFS Hitman. I offer that package for $20 a month. And you know what? Good luck, everybody. Have fun. Let's get some money tonight.